one of the tracks that was on that got played on radio too. And then that meant at like 18, I was already a producer that had a track on radio too. And so that then like really solidified me as a producer, and it solidified a lot of confidence in myself. And then I carried on doing tracks. I mean, I think I released like 100 tracks by the time I was like 21, like that I'd mixed and produced or written or something within that. And it's just, I didn't know anything different. I just thought that's what everyone did.
Right.
But I just, yeah.
That's amazing. You just like were in your own little bubble and you were able to kind of just push forward and push through. You didn't even have the imposter syndrome to like stop you from doing stuff. Like I
I
feel
think I
like
was too naive to have imposter syndrome.
what? Sorry?
I think I was too naive to have
Right.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, yeah. There's like this golden period of like naivety before you get the imposter syndrome. And that's like a great it sounds like you used that well. That time
Oh my
period
God,
well.
I have the imposter syndrome is crippling now. It's mad.
Really? Really? Even
Yeah,
after all those successes.
I'm the least confident in my music production now than I've ever been in my entire life. It's mad.
How has that happened?
I don't know if it's one of those things, you know, when they say about like gifted and talented children and then they like really struggle when they get older. I feel like I had that a bit with my career because I just won like loads of awards. I like stuff, I had like award winning albums. I had like all of this stuff. And most of this happened before I was 22. And it happened, a lot of it happened when I was like 19, 20. So I had such a like, oh my God, I love this and I'm really good at it. And then as time went on, I I don't know, it changed. But I mean, I started working for Gary Barlow when I was 23 as his private writer producer and like and songwriter
Wow.
for 2 years. So I'm only 27 now. So I've been only been out for a year and a half. But I don't know. It's just really weird.
Maybe it's like as you get better, you realize what your real weaknesses are, Like when you're naive and you're just starting, you're just like, "Oh, this is amazing." And there's something so powerful about that. But as you kind of learn what your strengths are and your weaknesses are, and you start to like, as human beings, we somehow put a magnifying glass on the things that we're less good at and are, or like, I don't know, in therapy, like things that you feel guilty about versus the things you feel good about yourself about, those kinds of things. Like maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think also like previously, although the music I had been producing had been on Radio 1, Radio 2, 6, like all of these other things, I still felt like when I then started working for Gary and then I started working for like proper major label artists, that's when I was like, I see the gaps in my skill set now. And because I had no training, I had no mentor. Like Gary Barlow was effectively my first mentor. Um, and that's quite a steep learning curve to go from like it was just the biggest, I think it was the biggest moment of my life, from big fish, tiny pond to absolute ocean and I'm a shrimp. Like it's like how extreme working for him felt for me. And then the
Wow.
pandemic hit halfway through that as well. So it was just everything was just so weird.